Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be making 5 ingredient protein bars. For this recipe you need coconut flour, protein, smooth almond butter, maple syrup and some chocolate chips. First things first, let's get 2 bowls, one for wet and one for dry ingredients. We're taking a half a cup of coconut flour and putting it into the dry bowl. Then we are taking a quarter cup, and it's actually 3/4 of a cup of casein. I like to use casein in these recipes because they give it a nice nuggety feel. If you use normal protein, it tends to make it sticky and it doesn't quite set well. So casein is always a really good protein to use for protein bars. I have absolutely no idea how my hands got this messy. I just don't know. And now we're heading over to the wet ingredients. I'm using an entire jar of 170 grams of almond butter. This is purely down to personal preference. My husband doesn't like peanut butter, so we always use almond butter in these kinds of recipes. Next, we are putting in half a cup of maple syrup. This is the full sugar version. If you want to have less carbs and less calories, try and find a sugar-free alternative. We are now going to thoroughly mix together all of our wet ingredients and give a little stir to our dry ingredients. Now let's combine the two. I'm putting in the dry into the wet just because I thought it would cause less mess. Little did I know that I would instantly drop some of it over the side of the bowl, which we will now cover up with a tea towel. Look, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Move along. I started using a whisk, but it got very tough very quick, so then I switched over to a wooden spoon once it had got a little bit more integrated. I like to keep stirring until the texture becomes somewhat like a Mars bar nugget texture, which is brilliant. I then transferred it into a lined normal loaf tray. If you don't want it quite as thick, you can use a bigger tray. This is quite a thick protein bar that I'm making here. It's only 6 bars and it's just under 21 grams of protein, or just over 20 grams of protein that each bar has. Again, this is purely for my husband's macros. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make it as even and as flat as possible. And you can see the consistency of it as well. And this is all before we put it into the fridge to set for a little bit. Now, back out of the fridge, I'm just shaping them a little bit. Some of the edges are a little bit curved because of the lining paper, while my chocolate chips are in the microwave melting, because now we're going to coat them in yummy, yummy chocolate. I'm just using normal milk chocolate chips from the supermarket. I've sped up this section, so what you're looking at now is very speedy chocolate coating, but I cover each one a little bit with chocolate first to make sure I've got enough, and then I cover every single bit that I can see in the chocolate, while trying to give a nice little cool pattern, and then it's back to the fridge with you. The bars are now out of the fridge, and I've just melted some more chocolate chips so that I can coat the bottom. Again, purely a preference thing. You don't necessarily have to put any chocolate on these. And here are the final bars, a nice easy 5 ingredient recipe for you.